Sha'Carri Richardson just silenced everyone. And now, the entire sprint world is asking one explosive question. Is the queen of the 100 meters officially back? Or is everyone overreacting to one race? Because what happened in Florida wasn't supposed to change the conversation. It wasn't the Olympics. It wasn't the World Championships. It wasn't even a Diamond League meeting. It was a small local race. With storm delays, very little attention, and almost no pressure. Yet somehow, Sha'Carri Richardson stepped onto the track and ran 10.77 seconds, her fastest time in nearly 2 years, a performance that instantly reminded the entire sprint world why she's one of the most dangerous women alive. And here's where the debate begins. Some fans are already saying this proves Sha'Carri is about to take back the world title. Others think it's way too early, because one fast race in June doesn't guarantee anything in September. But one thing is impossible to ignore. The stopwatch doesn't care about opinions. Just 1 week earlier, Sha'Carri opened her season with a solid 10.99 victory in Los Angeles. Good, but not terrifying. Then, 7 days later, everything changed. At the Star Athletic Sprint Series in Florida, storms delayed the competition. But once the gun fired, Sha'Carri exploded out of the blocks. Standing beside her was two-time Olympic 400-meter champion Sha'Carri Miller-Uibo, testing herself over the shorter sprint. It didn't matter. Within a few steps, Sha'Carri was gone. She crossed the finish line in 10.77 seconds. Miller-Uibo finished well behind in 11.05. In elite sprinting, that gap is massive. Suddenly, this wasn't just another tune-up race. It became one of the biggest statements of the season, because 10.77 is the fastest Sha'Carri has run since her incredible 10.71 at the 2024 U.S. Olympic trials. And after struggling through much of 2025 with injuries and inconsistent form, many people had started asking difficult questions. Was her best sprinting behind her? Had the new generation already taken over? Sha'Carri answered those questions in less than 11 seconds. And now, the rivalry at the top of women's sprinting has become even more exciting. World Champion Melissa Jefferson-Wooden has already shown incredible speed. Olympic champion Julien Alfred continues to dominate major races. Shericka Jackson is finding her best form again. The women's 100 meters may be deeper than ever before. But Sha'Carri has just reminded every one of them that she's still capable of producing world-class times. And that's exactly why this race matters. Not because she won a small meet, because she proved the speed is back. The confidence is back. And perhaps most importantly, the belief is back. The biggest races of the season are still ahead. The Diamond League, the World Championships, and eventually, the road toward Los Angeles 2028. If Sha'Carri Richardson is already running 10.77 inches June, imagine what she could be capable of when championship season arrives. One thing is certain, this wasn't just another victory, it was a warning to every woman chasing global gold. Because after one difficult season, Sha'Carri Richardson looks ready to remind the world exactly who she is. And if this performance is only the beginning, the rest of the sprint world has a very serious problem. The sprinting world has a problem. And her name is Sha'Carri Richardson. Because while everyone was busy talking about the new world champion, while fans were debating whether the women's 100 meters had moved on without her, Sha'Carri just showed up after 9 months away and reminded everyone exactly who she is. And here's the controversial part. I think the rest of the sprinting world celebrated way too early. Because if this version of Sha'Carri Richardson is healthy again, the women who thought the throne was vacant may have a serious problem. On the 14th of June, 2026, Sha'Carri stepped onto the track at the LA Grand Prix. No world title on the line, no Olympic final. Just one race, 100 meters. And a lot of people watching to see whether she still belonged among the best in the world. Remember, this wasn't just another season opener. This was Sha'Carri's first 100-meter race in 9 months. 9 months. The last time fans saw her over the distance, she was fighting through one of the toughest seasons of her career. Injuries, criticism, questions, doubts. People were starting to wonder if the explosive sprinter who dominated the world in 2023 was gone. Some even suggested the sport had already moved on. Big mistake, because the moment the gun fired in Los Angeles, Sha'Carri looked like she had something to prove. She exploded out of the blocks, immediately put pressure on the field, and with the wind actually blowing against her, she crossed the line in 10.99 seconds. Sub 1-1. First race back. Mission accomplished. And here's what should concern everybody else. That wasn't even close to the best Sha'Carri Richardson we've seen. Her personal best is 10.65. The woman who ran 10.99 inches Los Angeles was shaking off 9 months of rust. Think about that. If she's already running under 11 seconds in her season opener, what happens when she's fully race sharp? What happens when championship season arrives? What happens when she lines up against the biggest names in the world again? Because that's where this story gets interesting. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden wasn't in Los Angeles. The showdown everybody wants to see didn't happen. Yet, but it's coming. And when it does, we'll finally find out whether the new generation is ready to keep the crown. Or whether Sha'Carri Richardson is about to take it back. The scary thing, Sha'Carri doesn't sound satisfied at all. After the race, she wasn't celebrating. She wasn't talking about winning. She was talking about fixing weaknesses, getting better, preparing for what's next. That's the mindset of somebody who believes her best races are still ahead of her. And if that's true, the rest of the sprinting world may have underestimated her. Again, because after 9 months away, one thing became very clear in Los Angeles. Sha'Carri Richardson isn't finished. She might just be getting started.